I was mentally, emotionally, and physically destroyed after that. So this was me a few months ago at the height of my depression, funk, whatever you want to call it. Over the past 4 months, I have been rocked by 3 major events, and it just got me to a really bad place mentally and physically. I obviously stopped posting on this channel. By the 3rd one, which happened at the beginning of this year, I knew that if I didn't do some sort of intervention and really take matters into my own hands and be intentional about getting better, I was going to dig myself into a hole that would be really hard to climb out of. So I'm here to share the things that I did to turn my life around in the past few weeks. I really hope this is helpful for any of you who are going through a hard time. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, I'm Alex. I'm a digital nomad and creative director. I split my time between LA, Italy, Mexico, and other amazing places around the world, and I love to share lifestyle, fashion, wellness videos on this channel. To my returning subscribers, I have missed you so much. I'm so sorry that I completely fell off, and I'm here to kind of share a little bit about where I've been, but mostly share with you how to get out of a hole. If you're in one right now, I see you and my heart goes out to you, and I was right there with you a few months ago. I'm going to share a little bit about how I got into this funk. If you're not interested in that, you can just skip forward to the advice. I'll leave a timestamp. I thought it would only be fair to share kind of some of this context as to how I got here. I'd say my funk started on October 7th when the whole world woke up to a horrific, violent attack, and my heart just broke for the Jewish community, the Palestinian community. I have Jewish family members and friends. I have Palestinian family members and friends, and I just immediately was like hunkered down for my community, make space for everyone, focus on healing and activism. Obviously, the past few months have been horrific in terms of continuing violence. I didn't feel it was appropriate to show up here online with my content. I'm still actively working to support a ceasefire, and I'm going to continue thinking and praying and pushing for that in any way that I can. Also, please don't mind the messy background. I'm redoing my office. So yes, those are some IKEA boxes back there. The second thing, which has been really hard to process, and I feel like saying it out loud in a video is just gonna make it all that more real, because it's felt like a completely out of body experience, to be quite honest. In December, a few days before the holidays, my family, we found out that my mom has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. It doesn't feel fully real right now. We are really lucky in a lot of ways. It looks like we've caught it somewhat early. I know that pancreatic cancer is a very aggressive cancer, and it's usually found very late stage. We don't know the stage of cancer yet, and we won't know until she has surgery, which won't be until June, which makes no sense to me. Like, I thought that was Cancer 101, like, hi, you have cancer, here's the stage. Apparently not. So we don't know the stage of cancer. She's been in treatment and chemotherapy since January. Again, I don't feel like my brain is processing it fully, to be honest. I'm just kind of going through the motions of like trying to show up, trying to be supportive, and just like be as helpful as I can as a caretaker. If you're going through something similar, my heart just goes out to you. It is cancer frickin' sucks. Cancer sucks so much. It was really hard because my partner and I, we alternate holiday seasons with my family and his family, and this past season we were with his family in Italy. It was really hard to be away from my family during that time. I did really enjoy my time in Italy, knowing that my mom was going to be going into treatment in January and I would be coming back and be fully present with her then. We ended up having a nice Christmas, all things considered, but my God, like when it rains, it freaking pours. Both Pietro and I ended up getting swine flu literally on January 1. January 1st came down with swine flu. And y'all, I have had COVID twice now. When I say COVID has nothing on swine flu, like I have never been that sick in my entire life. The only way I can describe it is I felt like I had been run over by a freight train, like back and forth, like 10 times. I've never been in so much physical pain from a flu. Every muscle, every bone, every fiber in my body hurt so badly. I had 103-degree fever for over 48 hours. It was just madness. I did not get out of bed for 3 days. We were actually in Paris at the time. Like the most pathetic trip to Paris of all time. I've genuinely never been that sick before. And that was really like the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was mentally, emotionally, and physically destroyed after that. And I knew if I wasn't super intentional about bouncing back, things were gonna go south. By the end of January, I was like, okay, Alex, you have got to make a change. You've got to do something to grab life by the freaking horns and not let these destroy you. So here are the things that I've done to completely transform my life, pick myself up off the mat, and really get back to feeling like my full self. Step one was getting back into an exercise routine. Now, of course, post swine flu, I wasn't jumping into HIIT workouts right away, but I did want to be very intentional about moving my body every single day for at least 20 minutes. So that looked like yoga, Pilates, eventually strength training. But then in addition to that, I started layering on daily morning walks. I've recently been learning a lot about the science behind how healthy walking is for you, especially for women. It's one of the forms of exercise that is really beneficial for your hormones. I've been doing 40-minute morning walks every single day for almost 4 weeks, and it's been fantastic. I do have a regular 9-to-5 job and realized that was a big barrier to my walking. So I did end up getting a walking pad. Like I said, I'm redoing my office here, and the walking pad has actually been awesome. I felt like kind of a weirdo for having gotten one, but I got a standing desk and a walking pad, and they have been really fantastic additions to my routine. Now I'm doing the morning walks, and I try to push myself to do another hour walk during my work day. So I'm doing a lot of walking, and it's been fantastic for just like my energy, my mood, and also for like my health and weight loss goals. Number 2 is fueling your body with really high quality foods. I eat pretty clean. One change I did make was to really increase the amount of protein that I'm eating every single day. I did this for a few reasons: lose fat and increase muscle. I also wanted to increase my metabolism and decrease sugar cravings. Increasing my protein has really helped me feel more satiated and cut back on cravings, so that I'm not, reaching for junk food. In a depression, eating junk food is just like the worst possible thing because you're not fueling your body and your brain with the nutrients it needs to get those endorphins and really stabilize your mood. The third tip is related and is incredibly important for women, which is to work on balancing your hormones. I'm going to be making a separate video about this, but back in June of 2023, I decided to come off of hormonal birth control, and I have been really intentional about balancing my hormones. It has just been like a night and day difference across the board for me. Balancing your hormones can really help with all kinds of things like mood and mental health, your physical body. For me, it's been body image, honestly, feeling way more comfortable in my own skin, acne, weight loss. So how do you regulate your hormones? It really comes down to diet, sleep, exercise, and vitamins. I made a video about seed cycling last year that I'll link here above. It's a really simple technique that you can implement today, and I had crazy, crazy results in one hormonal cycle. In terms of exercise, I've really cut back on high intensity workouts and cardio because they can spike your testosterone and throw off your hormone balance. Getting good sleep has been incredibly important. There are two things I've done to get better sleep. Number one is I cut out caffeine. And y'all, when I say I was a die-hard caffeine addict for 10 years, it made a drastic impact on my sleep to cut back on caffeine. I also got the Oura Ring last year when I came off of hormonal birth control, and this has been a great tool to learn more about my sleep patterns. It's definitely pricey. I purchased it because I use it as a non-hormonal birth control with the Natural Cycles app, but it's really helped me also be more intentional about my sleep, and that is a really big part of your overall health. I also notice now, like when I don't get good sleep, like I am puffy, especially around my midsection. So definitely has impacts beyond just, being tired. And lastly, with vitamins, last year I met with a holistic doctor to help tackle some feminine health issues I was dealing with. I'll also be making a big bombshell video about that coming up. Working with her, I was able to identify the types of vitamins that I really needed to be taking every single day. So right now I'm taking B12, D3, magnesium, vitamin C, and zinc. So those are the vitamins that I've been taking to help stabilize my hormones. They also have a big impact on your gut health, which was one of the root causes of a lot of my issues. So tip number 4 is building a very strong mental health practice. For me, this looked like, number 1, regular therapy. My therapist is like the most important person in my life right now. Having someone to talk to who is unbiased, who can really help you process the heavy things that you're going through in your life is just a gift that I wish everyone in this world could receive. I'm also engaging in other daily practices to support my mental health. I am immersing myself in books and podcasts that can really help me take action to improve my mental health. You've all heard me talk about Ask and It Is Given, truly one of the most important books that I've ever read in my life about the law of attraction. And there's also The Secret, The Untethered Soul, The Power of Now. These are all books that have had drastic, tangible improvements on my mental health. One of the things that you really lose touch with when you're in a funk or a depression is your purpose and your why behind why you're here on this earth. And that's what spirituality can provide. When you plug back into the energy of this universe, the love, the wonder of why we're all here and what you personally, what your purpose is on this earth, because we all have a purpose. It really is that missing ingredient, in my opinion, for having strong mental health and building resilience. Aside from the books, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on these topics. My favorites are We Can Do Hard Things, Cheaper Than Therapy, and Esther Perel. A great way to get advice, but also to not feel alone in this world. When you hear other people talk about the problems that you're navigating and you realize that you're not the only one experiencing these things, it's so life-affirming, in my opinion. The 5 is joy and self-care. The distinction for me here is that you're doing things that aren't necessarily like productive, quote unquote. You're doing things that genuinely spark joy for you and drop you into what is known as a flow state, where you feel like time is just flying by and you're really focused on one activity. For me, this looks like painting. I also just love sitting on a beach or watching a sunset. Like, I am a water baby at heart. I commune with water. So anytime I see the ocean, I just instantly feel more peaceful and happy. I'm also very much into fantasy books right now. I am a Sarah J. Maas girly. I am a Rebecca Yarros girly. I have been deep in like the ACOTAR and Fourth Wing and oh gosh, like Persephone and Hades. Right now I'm reading the Crescent City series. If you have any recommendations on new series, like please let me know, because it's got me in a chokehold. I usually like to read nonfiction books in the morning to kind of kickstart my brain. I love to unwind with a fantasy book at night. So there you have it, my tips that I've been using over the past few weeks to combat depression, break out of my funk, and really turn my life around. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far. I'm really excited to get back into my weekly uploading. I've missed it so much, and I can't wait to continue connecting with you all. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos from me. And until next time, bye.